Growing up, I loved playing cricket and football and had a strong passion for helping others. Over the past 11 years working in the industry, I've been lucky enough to have worked alongside Sean Murphy, the head strength and conditioning coach at Essendon, Luke Boyd, physical performance manager at Hawthorn, and interned under Andrew Russell, high performance director at Carlton. I started Prepare Like a Pro after my time as a strength and conditioning coach at Hawthorn Football Club to help developing footballers gain a competitive edge with AFL standard preparation methods. If you're a developing footballer wanting to take your game to the next level, we'd love to help you. At Prepare Like a Pro, you can expect to not only improve your athleticism, but also lower your risk of injury or overload. There are training programs suitable for every level of involvement. I would love to help you choose the one that best suits your goals and personal motivation. Head to our Inquire Now page and I'll get back to you soon. Welcome to the Prepare Like a Pro live chat show. This week, we're just going to discuss a little bit about what has just passed, as well as a little bit what's coming up with this week. So stay tuned for tonight for a little bit of an update on everything that's going ahead this week. We had a ripping week last week with a couple of great chats, from one with Mclean, who's the senior dietitian at Collingwood Football Club, and Steve Gravinia, who's the physio at the West Coast Eagles. Both of them have been there for the last 8 years. If you're interested in catching those events, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you'll be able to catch those recordings, or you can subscribe to our podcast. We'll release the edited versions of those chats, so they'll be a lot more condensed, and you'll catch all the gems for the whole episode throughout our long chat that we have with those guys by subscribing to our podcast. We're on iTunes and Spotify. For those that want to catch a little bit more information and you're hungry to get better, whether you're a developing footballer or a strength and conditioning coach, you can subscribe to our academy platform, where we have exclusive information there that doesn't air to the podcast, such as like personal Q&As with our podcast guests, and also the opportunity to jump onto our chats, these live events chats, and ask the guests questions yourself. So for more information about our Prepare Like a Pro Academy, click the link in our Instagram bio or direct message me. I'm more than happy to answer questions around that. Super excited. We have a massive episode that launches tomorrow with David Mirror. That's episode 54 on the Prepare Like a Pro podcast. For those that are subscribers on our YouTube channel, you would have seen it was premiered this morning. So definitely check that out on YouTube, where you can watch the whole chat. We hosted that live interview on Facebook for those that caught us live a couple of months ago. But the recording is now on our YouTube channel, and then we'll launch the podcast episodes for those that like to do other things while listening to podcasts, like going for walks or doing house duties or whatever it might be. It'll be on iTunes and Spotify tomorrow morning that releases. So make sure to follow those streams to catch the episode with David Mirror. Quick little debrief with our chat with Mirror. We talked about a couple of really important topics for how to get recruiters of mature age. He's talked about the importance of life balance and making sure that he focused on his footy, but also life outside of football, and that he actually found he played better football when he worked full-time as a VFL footballer, opposed to when he went full-time playing at Hawthorn Football Club. The importance of making sacrifices for what you want most. So he talked about the late nights after working 9-to-5 job, going to training, and then doing the gym work after training, and leaving the gym around sort of 8:30 at night, when other players around him were leaving straight after training at about 7:45 or 8. So he found that accumulation of work that he did behind the scenes, whether it be extra craft with guys like David Banfield, who's at the club, or doing some extra gym work at the club, that all amounted to helping him get a competitive edge against those that he played against, and ultimately gave him a great opportunity. And he had a strong focus that kept popping up throughout the chat on focusing on the process rather than the outcome. Mentioned that it wasn't something that he spent a lot of energy on getting drafted, but rather it was a byproduct of him putting in work on his craft over the years. So I thought that was a really good message for anyone, really, not just developing footballers, but anyone that if you want to try and get the most out of yourself, focusing on the process is seems to be the latest way into when you speak to any sports psychologist or anyone that performs at a high level. It seems to be a common trend. We're focusing on the process rather than the outcome. Brings less anxiety, but also gives you a better result. So definitely note that one down. He talked about the challenges of playing VFL footy with an aligned club. Even when he was a captain at times, you might be only playing with a couple of other Box Hill listed players, so that can have its challenges simply getting selected in the team or playing in your prime position. So he talked about how he managed that and how spending time with the Hawthorn guys and the Box Hill guys allowed him to really enjoy the club and was a really important element to the premiership success, getting that connection between the two teams of Hawthorn and Box Hill to play as one unit. So that's a really interesting chat, one to definitely tune in for those that are keen on their footy, but also for those that want to get the most out of themselves. It's quite an inspirational story. Really looking forward to this week's chat. So pencil these ones down, guys. Tomorrow night, I'm going to launch a free presentation for you all. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. It will also be on our Facebook page, and it's going to be a physical preparation for football that will stream live at 6 p.m. And to be able to catch that chat, you'll need to be at the Facebook page or on the YouTube channel at that current time. So pencil in tomorrow night at 6 p.m. to catch that presentation, where I'll dive into our philosophy at Prepare Like a Pro on how to condition yourself for football, both in the off season. Then I talk about pre-season and then in season. So some great topics there, and hopefully some information that will help the developing footballers out there, as well as the strength and conditioning coaches that might be working in footy. Hopefully there'll be some methods there that maybe you haven't heard of, or some refreshers that you haven't used in the last little bit. So tune in on that one. Then on Wednesday night, I'm catching up with Gaetano Ferranda, who's the high-performance manager at Williamstown. I actually worked with GT, as he's known, at Box Hill Hawks, where he was the head strength and conditioning coach a couple of years, and he's now gone on to do bigger and better things, working at Victoria University and managing the Williamstown conditioning program. So really looking forward to that chat. That's this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That'll also be on our socials, so tune in there at 8 o'clock. If you have any questions for GT, head to our Instagram page the night before, leading up to the event, and you can send in your questions, and I'll fit them in during the chat. And then Thursday, we've got the legend, the Anthony Koutafidis, also known as Kouta, where we'll be discussing his playing career, all the things that he did as a player and what worked for him, and the challenges and how he overcame that during his career, as well as what he's been doing post-career with Kouta Fit. So he's entrenched himself. He's always been someone that's regarded himself strongly in looking after his body, and he hasn't stopped after his playing career. It's pretty clear he's in great nick, and we'll discuss a lot of the things that he does and methods that he does to look after his body and still be able to get plenty out of his body post-football career. So looking forward to chatting with Kouta about his playing career, what he's doing now with Kouta Fit. If you want to join in that chat, that's going to be this Thursday at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And for our Academy members on Patreon, currently there's 2 people that have booked in to have a chat with Kouta and ask their questions. So there's a couple of spots available. I can have 4 join me for that chat and ask you questions. So if you're in the Academy, in the Discord group, make sure you chuck your hand up and lock in a spot. But yeah, really looking forward to these chats, guys. They're both great people and have had a lot of success in their careers, so it should be really interesting for both the developing footballers and also strength and conditioning coaches out there. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any questions or queries about anything that we're doing at Prepare Like a Pro, including on how to work with our coaches, make sure to hit us up on the Instagram page, or ultimately you can click our link in our bio. That link tree has all the things that we do, from our online strength and conditioning programs, as well as our strength and conditioning coaches' bios, so you can get a bit of more information about how to work with a coach now that we're approaching that off-season period for most footballers. And our prize for this week, I'm giving away a free coaching session with myself. So a coaching session could be in the gym or on the field for the footballers, or if you're interstate, then on Zoom, discussing your lifestyle and your programming and your goals. Or for the strength and conditioning coaches that join our academy, there'll be a more mentoring session around discussing your career ambitions, and any way I can help give you a bit of advice or act like a bit of a soundboard. So there'll be a one-on-one private session with myself for the next 5 people that subscribe to our Prepare Like a Pro Academy. You can check out the information about our academy and how to subscribe by clicking the link in our bio. And here's a short little video for those that want a little bit more information about our academy. Thanks for tuning in to Prepare Like a Pro live chats. Looking forward to catching you guys tomorrow night at 6 p.m. where our presentation on conditioning for football is on YouTube, 6 p.m. tomorrow night. And make sure to tune in to our live chats this week, Wednesday night with GT and Thursday night with Kuda. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you then.
Hi, I'm Jack McLean, an AFL football strength and conditioning coach, and I want to introduce you to the Prepare Like a Pro Academy. Our academy is a subscription-based platform where you can sign up to be a part of our community. If you get to the end of each episode of the podcast and are hungry for more, this is for you. Designed for aspiring AFL athletes and staff, you'll receive heaps of bonus weekly content, learn who the guests are in advance, and submit questions. Access to our Facebook group with Jack and other Prepare Like a Pro coaches. You'll be able to receive merchandise, program discounts and freebies, and get free access to our live events, exercise technique database, and much more. This is a great way for you to support the podcast, and it helps me with production and release of epic content for you guys each week. Your contribution goes a long way in making the Prepare Like a Pro community possible. For a small monthly fee, you'll have access to all of the special content released on our Academy forums. There's no lock-in and you can cancel absolutely anytime.